Google Pixel 5 Camera Review. Hello my dear friends, how are you? I hope you are well and in good health. Today I have a new and important video with you, which is a review of the Google Pixel 5 camera. I hope you like it, but before you watch the video, subscribe to the channel to receive everything new and useful. Now let's continue the explanation. The Google Pixel series is one of the strongest and most trusted mobile camera brands in the market, with the Google Pixel 5 hitting the market at around $699. Let's take a closer look at how its camera system performs in day/night/super resolution and zoom photography and the camera IQ benchmark score it gets. Since we also have the older Pixel 3a, 4, and 4a, and the new Pixel 4 5G, we took them all on a photo safari. Pixel 5 camera hardware, what's new? Looking at Google's Pixel 3 and even the Pixel 5 today, one can notice that the hardware hasn't evolved much, especially in light of the mobile camera war between Samsung and Apple and Huawei's rise to camera superpower status. The Pixel 3, 3a, 4, 4a, and Pixel 5 models use the same camera sensor. However, the Pixel 3 and 3a have an f/1.8 lens, while the Pixel 4, 4a and Pixel 5 have an f/1.7 lens. The new Pixel 4a 5G has the same camera system as the Pixel 5. The Google Pixel 5 has a 27mm wide camera and a 16.5mm ultra-wide camera. The ultra-wide camera is the big difference between the Pixel 4 and Pixel 5, with the Pixel 4 having a 50mm zoom camera as a secondary camera instead. The Pixel 5's wide plus ultra-wide configuration is the best. The Pixel 5 wide plus ultra-wide configuration is better by our mobile camera standards because people tend to use ultra-wide much more than zoom, so we're off to a good start. Strangely, the Google Pixel 5 has a less powerful processor platform than the Pixel 4, opting for the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G instead of the Pixel 4 Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. Although the Snapdragon 855 became available in 2019, it is designed to be faster and more expensive. From the 765G chip, from a photography perspective, the performance difference may affect image quality, IQ, because the Google Pixel camera relies heavily on software improvements rather than camera hardware development. Image quality analysis. If you want to learn more about our camera IQ benchmark, check out the official page. At a high level, we evaluate image quality for daytime, nighttime, ultra-wide, and zoom photography. Important. Let's clarify some of the terms we will use. Image processing, software work that improves the quality of image data. Image filtering, a software action that changes the style, aesthetic, of an image. Context image, an excellent approximation of how the scene appears to the eye. The camera's global score is straightforward, but the individual subscores help tell a better story for those who want a more accurate view of the camera's image quality. If you want to learn more about how the score works, head over to our camera level measurement page. Photography in daylight and daylight photography. The Google Pixel 5 performs well and matches our expectations for HDR photography. Like other Pixel phones, the Pixel 5's camera emphasizes never overexposing anything, so, in very bright scenes, the output can be a bit different from what your eyes see. In some locations, it looks great. In other cases, it makes the scene darker. From an image quality, IQ, perspective, this doesn't always change things much, unless contrast is lost, but it's an aesthetic, style, element you need to be aware of. You can make the decision based on the context image and sample images we show here. Google and Apple take a different approach. From a photographic detail standpoint, the Google Pixel 5 captures detail on par with other phones with comparable camera hardware, such as the iPhone 11 Pro's primary camera. According to our camera HW score, Google and Apple take different approaches. Apple tolerates noise to achieve higher levels of detail, while Google chooses to remove noise at the expense of introducing blur. Both companies have reached the limits of electro-optics, sensors plus lenses, for this generation of cameras. Phones like Huawei's P30 series, P40 series, and Samsung's 20 Ultra series have much larger sensors and have low noise and high detail. Night photography, HDR night photography. At first, the differences between the Pixel 3/3a, Pixel 4/4a, and Pixel 5 aren't very noticeable other than the color differences. For example, the Google Pixel 3 tends to oversaturate colors. Some of that has improved on the Pixel 4 and Pixel 5. When analyzing cropped images, we find small differences in image noise and detail. In the same scene, the Google Pixel 3's photos are noisier than the Pixel 4/4a, or Pixel 5. In our tests, the Pixel 3a performed slightly better than the original Pixel 3. Lay behind cameras that use more expensive camera hardware. Unfortunately, they all have more image noise than the iPhone 11 Pro, which has noticeably lower nighttime image quality than the Galaxy Note 20 Pro. Cropped images on the Pixel 4 are slightly sharper than on the Pixel 5. This is due to the difference in noise reduction settings, which adds some blurring over the Pixel 5. Essentially, the Pixel 5 gives up a bit of sharpness to reduce noise. In terms of quality, it's a bit of a toss-up, but it will depend on your personal preference between noise and sharpness. Ultimately, the Pixel 5's low light performance lags behind cameras that use more expensive camera hardware. Night photography without HDR range, 0.04 lux, in low light night scenes, we can see how sensitive different cameras are to light. Although there are slight improvements in colors, noise and detail, the Pixel 3/4/5 remain within the same generational performance level as the Google Pixel 3. A comparison with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra shows a fairly large gap in low light performance with today's best. These findings reveal how leaving the camera hardware virtually unchanged for years negatively impacts the Pixel 5's overall competitiveness against top competitors. Even with low resolution web images, you can probably see the difference in clarity, sharpness, and detail below. However, the cropped images show the huge gap in image quality between the Pixel 5/4/3 and today's high-end camera phones. Yes, there's Google Night Sight, but we've already explained in our Pixel 3 camera review why we consider long exposure night modes like Night Sight to be fake photo filters, and therefore don't give them camera IQ points. We still need to highlight this topic because night sight has a huge impact on the user experience. Long exposure photos require you to wait 3 to 6 seconds without moving to take the photo. A normal exposure night shot takes 0.05 seconds or less. Given the similar image quality, it's best not to wait. Long exposure modes are a great way to compensate for less powerful devices, but it's not an ideal user experience. It usually creates shots that can look quite unnatural. Read, brightness isn't always the best. Other phones can't take more natural photos right away. Finally, a higher performance camera can also use a long exposure mode and will likely produce a better image anyway. Zoom photography without a dedicated zoom lens. The level of detail on the Pixel 5 is only slightly better than the Pixel 3/3a. However, if zoom is more important to you than ultra-wide, we recommend looking at the Google Pixel 4, which has a 2x optical zoom lens instead of the ultra-wide lens. Google has some of the best software algorithms for optimizing zoom images. However, looking at a cropped image of a Pixel 5 zoom photo and comparing it to a longer zoom like the Galaxy S20 Ultra proves that some of the best camera software can only help so much in the face of significantly more powerful hardware. Here's an example of a zoomed-in photo taken with the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3, which has a similar camera hardware to the Google Pixel 5. As you can see, the result isn't far off. The following image greatly highlights the trade-offs in image quality between getting more detail, but more noise, versus smoothing out, blurring things out for perhaps a more acceptable image but loose detail. Look at different rocks and places to see how the details are blurred. Below, the Pixel 4 demonstrates how having just a dedicated 2x zoom lens instantly increases image quality, IQ. Finally, the best solution is to get more powerful camera hardware. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra has more powerful hardware, and no amount of software can make up for data that's not captured. Ultra-wide photography. Note that the Samsung Ultra-wide 13mm camera is wider field of view or more expansive field of view, so this represents approximately 30% more field of view. The orange rectangle in the sample S20U images below shows the Pixel 5's field of view compared to the S20U's ultra-wide FOV camera. It's difficult to measure how much value a user places on having a wider view, so we raise the issue and provide sample images for you to judge. Very nice camera. A narrower field of view also gives the advantage of natural image quality because it's less susceptible to distortion, vignetting, and things like that. Currently, the wider option does not bring more image quality points. There are other trade-offs between the Pixel and competitors. Google is more willing than Samsung to leave some noise in the image rather than forcefully remove it. Overall, this is a great ultra-wide camera. Daylight photography. In daylight photography, the Google Pixel 5 takes great photos. However, we noticed that the HDR image processing is a bit aggressive and results in some loss of contrast. The blue sky in the upper middle becomes dimmer than it should be, while shadowy areas are sometimes brighter than they would be naturally. The comparison with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra illustrates this well. In this particular scene, the overall color of both the Google Pixel 5 and iPhone 11 Pro is a little off, a little red on the Pixel and a little yellow on the iPhone 11 Pro, but overall, the major OEMs have good color management. Of the three phones, the iPhone 11 Pro has larger noise spots, and doesn't quite capture detail in shaded areas. The Note 20 Ultra has an all-round advantage, with great image quality, low noise, and a wider field of view. Ultra-wide night photography. In ultra-wide night photography, the Google Pixel 5's 16.5mm camera performs well and manages to be on par with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's ultra-wide camera in absolute image quality for this type of scene. The Pixel 5's ultra-wide camera is clearly superior to the iPhone 11 Pro's camera, and slightly better than the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's ultra-wide camera because it has better detail at the expense of more noise, and a narrower field of view. If you don't like noise in photography, choose the Note 20U for ultra-wide shots. At the end of the video, I hope you liked it, and see you in a new video.